Say it again.
You want to start off making just an opening statement on your game?
Yeah, I mean, I just, credit to Iowa. They're a great team, but I think it's still some things that, we have inwardly that we have to fix. As a captain, I have to step up even more, and just try to push my teammates to just reach higher and reach deeper. We had a lot of bonehead mistakes and things that we could have controlled. But at the end of the day, we have to learn and just keep moving forward because it doesn't stop here.
All right, our first question comes from Lindsey Huddleston.
Thank you. Hey, Josh, if this is too candid of information, you don't have to share it all, but just curious to know what Coach Izzo was talking to you about the 2 minute and 30-minute mark, 2:30 mark when you were on the bench and he had let some other players get in the game. Just curious to know, because it seemed like his attitude and demeanor wasn't high strong. He seemed to kind of be like accepting and moving on, but I'm just curious to know what that conversation was like you guys had.
Well, I mean, it's similar to what I just said. We were just kind of discussing the game and, just discussing the things that we kind of fell short on, throughout the game. And, at the end of the day, I think me and Coach's relationship has really grown a lot. And, we were just kind of just talking about the game and just, it was a lot of different things that I did personally that I didn't do a good job of as a captain. And he was just talking about how as a captain, you have to set the standard.
Yeah, and just real quick follow-up. Do you find it interesting that you don't see this demonstrative Coach Izzo during a loss like this, but more of a mellow Coach Izzo, if that makes any sense?
I mean, I find this whole year unique, man. It's just hard to adjust right now. Not making an excuse, but at the end of the day, this is a different year. So at the end of the day, we're always just trying to find our way. I think Coach has done a great job of leading us, in spite of all the different things and the different challenges that we face. And so at the end of the day, man, we just have to rally together as a family because that's what we are as Spartans. We just have to put our heads down and roll our sleeves up and just try to find a way.
Great. Thanks, JL.
Yes, sir.
Our next question comes from Matt Charbonneau.
Josh, it felt like the last couple of games you guys at least found a little bit of confidence in those couple wins. How tough is it now to bounce back when you have a game like this where it feels like not really much is going your way at all?
It's definitely tough. Like you said, we kind of felt like we were getting our confidence back. We had those 2 wins. But, man, at the end of the day, kind of like what I said early in the opening statement, we don't have time to hang our heads. We still have season left. We still have some of the season left, and we still have a chance, to try to do some things. And so at the end of the day, we have to just keep learning and just watch this film and just move forward and have a next play type of mindset, a next game type of mindset, while at the same time trying to learn from our past mistakes, within this game.
Thanks, Josh.
Yes, sir.
Next question comes from Chris Solari.
Josh, can you kind of break down the strategy today with Garza? You held him to 8 points, but obviously the perimeter guys really teed off on you. Was that what you guys wanted to do with him in terms of doubling, tripling from the perimeter?
Yeah, we kind of just wanted to make it hard for him. I think some of those shots were, not really the scouting report, not really scouting report error. I think it was more of player error in terms of our effort and how we needed to get back, to those, wide open guys. And then also, I would have to watch the film too to give you even more of a detailed answer. But off the top of my head, that's what it seems like to me. I think we had a great scouting report, but at the end of the day, sometimes the games in the Big Ten, majority of the time the games in the Big Ten, they're not really about X's and O's. It's about effort, character, chemistry, unity, teamwork, the things that you can't necessarily see, the things that we can control. And so that's just what it is.
It's also the second time you guys have lost by 30 and the third time you guys have lost by 25 or more this season. Does there come a point where the talk is cheap, or what do you have to do to kind of play through some of this right now?
We have to find a way. That's all we can do. We have to find a way, and we have to bite down. And I think this is where we'll truly see what kind of team we have. I believe we have a team that's tight, but we have to bite down, man, and just come together even more, and just try to find a way to get out. Because at the end of the day, not one man is going to bring us out. We're only going to come out together. Together we'll stand, and divided we'll fall. So that's just what it is.
And our last question comes from the now repositioned Brendan Quinn.
Hey, Josh, I guess in terms of like the younger guys on this team, when obviously you want to leave things the way that you kind of found them, right? What is the challenge when a year is kind of going this way to, right, kind of continue on in what this program's all about when the results aren't what people are used to?
I mean, it's definitely a challenge, but I think at the end of the day, you have to just try to, keep trusting the process. And what I mean by that is, keep listening to the coaching staff, keep doing the things that we can do. One thing Coach emphasized to us always is, are we doing our job? And so at the end of the day, if we do our job, we can't necessarily be mad about the results. But if we're not doing our job, then, trying to expect a result that comes a different result, of a result that's good, that's insanity. I think the saying is, insanity is trying to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. And so at the end of the day, we all have to do our jobs. And especially me being a captain, I have to take more, be more demonstrative and take more charge and just keep doing the things that I need to do to lead the team.
Do you have any concerns about this year kind of having like a greater impact on the culture of the program?
No. I think, you look at this program, I mean, this program is a winning program. And I think one thing that, we have to kind of get an understanding of is that, Coach Izzo, yes, he wins, but he's not a result-driven guy. He's a guy that believes in just doing what you're supposed to do. And if you do what you're supposed to do, then the results will follow. And so at the end of the day, I don't think, this year will hurt the culture. And I can't even say what this year will be because it's not over yet.
Sure.
This is not the time to be, throwing in the towel. I'm not throwing in the towel, and I don't think my teammates and my coaches are throwing in the towel. Nobody's giving up. That's not what we do at Michigan State. And I think, this year could turn around tremendously. And so, to answer your question, at the end of the day, we just have to keep focusing on doing our job and, let the chips fall where they may. But we have to do our job. We have to.
Great. Thanks, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's all we got for you today. Thanks for joining us, Josh. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you.
And we'll be right back with Coach Izzo here in just a minute.
All right, we're getting set to be joined by Coach Izzo here. There's Coach, who will start us off with an opening statement.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed. That was a poor performance, and I have two people to blame. Coach of the Spartans, Tom Izzo, and God, I got to give credit to, in that first 9 minutes, I think, Murray hit 2 threes. He's under 30%, and McCaffrey hit 2 threes and he's under that. And I think Nunge hit 1 3 and he's 31%. You know, we were picking our poison. As I told you, we were going to do a better job on Garza, which I guess in some ways we did a better job on Garza. But I warned you guys and myself that you don't want to be taking away the 2 and give up threes. Now, the threes we gave up weren't because one of them was because of a game plan, but some of them were just kind of a lack of effort. And I did not think my team was ready in the first half. I thought we started out the second half much better, but I didn't see it coming necessarily, but that's my job. So I was disappointed. I give a lot of credit to Iowa. They shot the ball so well, 52%. We didn't turn it over much, 8, that's an improvement. And rebound is good. We have been struggling from the free throw line, and we struggled again today. And this was a team that shot 78%, from the line a few weeks ago for the season. So today was an ambush. It's one game. It's not good, but it's not been indicative of how we've played. And we know what our goal is and what we have to do. There's so many games we have to win, and we have 8 left to do that in, to see what we can do. So no excuses. Blame should go on me and solely on me, not on them. Questions?
We'll start with Larry Leitch.
Tom, can you give us an update on Rocket?
Yeah, Rocket was sick a little bit. I just felt like he had his stomach, and then at halftime he got real sick, and so they did the same thing they did with Kithier. They rushed him off, and he'll go through all the protocol. And I have no update because I haven't met with the doctors yet. But there'll be no update until after his testing today. Maybe we'll get it back tomorrow because it'll have to be a PCR test because he tested negative this morning. But I don't know, it also could be the flu or something. But we'll probably find out a good point tomorrow, but still have to keep him out a couple days because whatever the protocol is, and we'll do the same thing we did with Kithier. And it's just another situation that we'll deal with.
Next up, Chris Solari.
Tom, you did mention you'd throw the kitchen sink at Garza and you held him to 7. I guess kind of walk us through your decision there. Because I know he scored a bunch there. What did you want to get done with the doubles and triples on him?
Well, we were never supposed to triple him. We were doubling him, and same thing we did at whatchamacallit. So I said I was going to throw the kitchen sink at him because I know you guys would write it, and hopefully they'd think a little different. But I didn't do anything different than I did the other game, to be honest with you. McCaffrey hit some big shots. We did a poor job of guarding. I mean, the open ones he got because they kicked out, he had a couple of them. But there were some, he just 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and we didn't, respect that. And the Murray kid, got a lot of respect for him. His dad was a hell of a player, and really liked the way Fran's done a good job bringing him along. And he hasn't made 2 threes, I don't think, in a game. I don't know that, but I don't think. So he hit a couple, and they weren't guarded the way they should have been guarded. So I don't, you got to pick your poison. And I didn't think we did anything different than we did. We missed some shots. They made some shots, and that was the difference in the game.
Next question comes from Kyle Austin.
Yeah, Tom, I was kind of going to ask you along those similar lines. The looks they got in the first half, how much is that kind of a result of how you chose to play them, and how much was that, you guys not closing out the way you wanted them to?
None of Murray's were that way. Connor McCaffrey's, a couple of those were that way. None of Nunge's were that way. And I thought West Camp, you know, I didn't think we stepped up on some of those, but he has been on fire, and 7 for 13, 5 for 7, 21 points. He deserved every bit of it. I mean, he's one of the better shooters in this whole conference. So we just didn't guard him as well as I thought we would. We've been pretty successful with Aaron and Josh covering good perimeter guys, but we didn't do as good a job today. And so, you know, McCaffrey's, yes, nobody else's.
Next question, we'll go to Matt Charbonneau.
Tom, I don't know if this is a game where one guy makes that big of a difference, but there was like an 8-minute stretch in the first half where Aaron sat for a while. Was there any particular reason for that, or just kind of way it worked out in that half?
It's just kind of the way it worked out. You know, I think Aaron, you know, the energy maybe wasn't there. You know, we're going to have that happen sometimes. And I think you'd see at the end of that half when he went back in the beginning of the second half, there was a different energy level. Would you agree or not? Or did you see that? So I saw the same thing you saw. I just get paid more to see it than you do. But it was the same thing. And we just looked at it and said, maybe he's a little tired and trying to get him a little bit of a rest. And, you know, and maybe it helped because he did play a lot better when he went back in and played a lot better early in the second half. But I don't think, you know, nobody played as well as I think. I think him and Josh struggled a little bit, and those are two of our best players. And, you know, inside we did some things. You know, I was really pleased with Gabe Brown, but he struggled early too. And in his coverages and that, because he just hasn't had the reps. But, you know, once he got his sea legs under him, that was an encouraging part of the day that, you know, he shot better and he looked like a guy that really wanted to play. And so that was encouraging too. And we'll try to build on that.
Next, we'll go to Lindsey Huddleston.
Tom, amazing. You're in my head right now about Gabe Brown and that Gabe effect. I noticed at that 7-minute mark when he got in, he had a quick score, a quick block. It seemed like it stabilized the team a little bit, kind of stopped the run. I know you haven't seen the video, but you talked about it. How is it that there can be a player that has that kind of effect, whether it's Gabe or anyone, who can just change the dynamic just by their presence on the court?
Well, I think one thing, Lindsey, that Gabe really does, he can rebound the ball. He didn't have a lot of rebounds today, but he went every time. But, you know, he's the one guy that can shoot it. And I don't know what he shot today. What did Gabe shoot today? 6 for 10, 3 for 5. You know, we haven't had many guys shoot that good. And so getting him some shots is going to be important, I think, moving forward. You know, I think he'll, like he said after, that's the best he's felt now since he's come back. And, you know, we know it took Josh 2, 3 games, 4 games. So that's all going to be part of it. But I was pleased with Gabe because he came in hungry to play, you know, and that's all we're really asking right now. And he did it. So hopefully his minutes will keep going up.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Brendan Quinn.
Tom, you know, losing's one thing, but 30 points at home is obviously a different thing. Like, how do you not let this be bigger than it is, especially for maybe some of the young guys?
Well, it's $1 million question. You know, I've lost games before, and you know, it's no doubt this is one of the tougher stretches. But I got to keep in perspective everything that's going on, and I just got to try to, you know, work a little harder. To be honest with you, Brendan, I did not think we played with the same energy that we played in the last 2 games, and you know, that doesn't fall on anybody but me. So I just got to do a better job. I promise you I'll be working tonight and tomorrow, but we're not going to lose anybody because of it. We're just going to keep finding the guys that want to play at the same level. I mean, I don't want a guy falling down and laying there and not getting back up, you know. We had a little bit of that. And sure, guys are disappointed, but that's not the way we're going to play, and that's not the way it's going to be. And so, yeah, 30-point loss is not good. I said it's one of the more embarrassing ones I've had. I've had a couple of them. The one at Rutgers you can look at was, but at the same time, trying to understand where we are and what we're going through. And I'm just going to try to work my way through it. Meet with the guys, find out, where their heads are. We'll do a lot of that. But don't forget, Iowa played good today. I mean, they made every shot they took. At one time they were shooting 70-some% from the three. And so give them credit. It's we deserve some blame. I deserve some blame, but they deserve some credit too.
Gotcha. Thanks.
All right, looks like we have two more questions for Coach. We'll start with Sean Windsor.
Hey, Tom, I'm curious. You watch some of your guys hesitate to shoot without conviction sometimes, slump a little bit when you take them out. It seems like there's, at various points, confidence issues. I'm curious how much of that is you chalk up to individual, what's going on in the season, and just your rotation patterns and trying to figure out roles and when guys are going to play and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's all true, Sean, but some of it is when you don't practice for 17 days, and you don't practice at that level and you got different guys out. And Josh isn't, some guys are supposed to shoot. Josh is supposed to shoot. He didn't seem to have any problems with it. Aaron's supposed to shoot. Gabe's supposed to shoot. Joey and Malik are, I don't know who was, everybody slumps a little bit when you're getting your butt kicked, but I don't know as far as hesitant to shoot. God, I would have looked at some of it almost the opposite. I think some guys were casting shots when we were making a little run a couple different times and we took a few bad shots. But I don't know. I'll have to look at the film and then I'll give you a better answer tomorrow.
Our final question today comes from Stephen Brooks.
Hey, Tom, just wanted to ask, the way this one played out, which aspect was most disappointing to you or most surprising that you saw today?
Well, I thought the effort early was most disappointing. I just did not feel that we had the, I said we practiced pretty good. But I think right away when McCaffrey hit those two, I think that really hurt us. And I don't know why, but that's what we chose to do. That's not the player's fault. Guy made some shots, man. I give him a lot of credit. I told Fran that after. I see your kid played his butt off. And but I didn't think we had the same zip early. Some of our guys didn't cover guys that are some of our best defenders. So we have to improve in that area. And we've been pretty good defensively the last 4 or 5 games. We really have. So it was a total breakdown. And I don't know if it was, because of the way they played. I think that was some of it. But like I said, I've got to take responsibility for the way we played. And I will do that. And I'll give you a better one. If you want a press conference Sunday, I'll give you a better one after I watch the film.
Thank you.
All right, Coach, that's all the questions we had for you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. And a note for the media, will be joined shortly by Gabe Brown. We got a couple minutes before we'll be joined by Gabe, so just hang tight. All right, we're getting ready to be joined. Oh, there's Gabe right there. We'll take questions for Gabe in the chat. We'll start with the question from Lindsey Huddleston.
Gabe, how you doing? Your name came up several times when Coach Izzo was talking about players, and one thing he said about you is that you were hungry to play. That means having a strong desire for something. So how is it that some players, some athletes have a strong desire more than others? How is that, you think?
It's just about just wanting to compete. I mean, every time I step on the court, like I said last time, I love basketball with everything in me. So if I could play as long as I much and do it at the best rate possible, I'm gonna do it. And every time I go out there, I want to compete, just like with every guy on the team, they want to compete.
Quick follow-up to that. Do you have to say that to teammates or other players, or just show them?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, energy rubs off on everybody. So if I'm out there crashing a glass, rebounding, doing something right, the next player gonna do it, then the next player gonna do it, and it just keep on going.
I got it. Thank you, Gabe.
No problem.
Next, we'll go to Chris Solari.
Gabe, with where the season is at right now, with 8 games remaining, you guys know what's at stake here. How after this one do you kind of get guys back on the same page and try and treat this as a one-game situation rather than maybe an end of what might be down the line?
It's just time for us to recollect. It's time for us to watch film, go back, talk with coaches, all the coaches, see what we did wrong, and get back to practicing. Every guy got to bring it each and every day, and we got to bring it to the game too.
As a follow-up, Coach said that he was embarrassed from this game. As a player, how do you guys, what did you guys discuss among each other in the locker room when he left?
It is embarrassing. I mean, 30 points at home is horrible. We don't want that. So it is embarrassing to go out there and play like that, or like what we did, but it's not over yet. We still fighting. We still believe that we can make this run, and we're going to.
Next question, we'll go to Stephen Brooks.
Hey, Gabe. Coach had talked about you guys getting some confidence from the last Iowa game and the 2 wins after that. That being the case, what do you think was most surprising about the way you guys played today?
I'd say the most surprising would be our defense. Our defense just wasn't there today. That's one thing that I feel like it just wasn't there. We didn't connect very well on defense, and they hit shots. That's one thing that they did. They hit shots and found guys. A great job to them of what they did, but our defense wasn't there today.
Thank you.
No problem.
Next up, Jaina Bartle.
Hi, Gabe. I'm just kind of wondering what the atmosphere on the bench felt like. Was it a lot of frustration, or how did you guys feel out on the bench? Looking over there, it looked like it was a little quiet and maybe a little down throughout the game.
Maybe I wasn't really looking at guys and seeing their energy and things like that. I don't feel that it was down because every guy cheers each other on. So I don't feel that it's down. We do bring energy on the bench, but it's just one of those games where we just didn't bring it on defense.
Next up, we got Graham Couch.
Gabe, when you first came off the court after that stretch where you got some things going, you were sitting next to Aaron Henry, who had been out for a while, and I'm wondering what if you and he had any conversation, what he was saying, what he was thinking. He was out for like 8 minutes there, which is a pretty long stretch for him.
Yeah, I just told him just be a leader, pick your head up. It's always gonna be tough times along the road, and Coach is gonna have his reasons for why Henny did sit him. But then again, Henny has to be a leader, and Henny has to bring the energy, and I felt that he did. I felt that he was picking teammates up. He was high-fiving guys. He was telling guys what to do. Henny is a great leader, and he was doing that.
Next, we'll go to Rico Cooney.
Gabe, can you talk a little bit about maybe, I guess, what you showed your coaches today, and maybe if that's going to parlay into some more playing time or maybe even a starting role?
I just showed them I want to do the little things. I want to do anything I can do to help this team win. I mean, me being out there, I go as hard as I possibly can. So I just want to go out there, play hard, and just win. That's the main thing at the end of the day. I feel like today I was just getting back to the flow again.
Thank you.
No problem.
Next, we'll go to Audrey Dahlgren.
Hi, Gabe. Joshua was mentioning something about how the scouting report that was put together was good. It just, majority of the games in the Big Ten come down to effort. They're effort related, issues. And so why do you guys seem to kind of be having this issue as the season has been going forward? What would you point your finger to that on, or how would you describe it?
I feel like we got to lock in more on film, lock in more on the scouting reports. I mean, we got to just read them more and just really study the guys that's out there. That's one thing that we need to do. But I feel like guys have been trying. Guys have been doing the job of trying to maintain the scouting reports. It's just one of those days where guys just hit shots, and they did credit to them. They did a great job.
Thanks, Gabe.
No problem.
Next, we'll go back to Graham Couch.
Gabe, you had obviously been out a long time and hadn't hit a three since I think the Rutgers game in early January. I might be wrong on that date, but it was early January. And I'm wondering, for you, is when you see three go down like that, what that does for you in terms of hopes for this season, a season I think you probably had higher hopes for than what's transpired for yourself to this point?
Like I said, just anything I can do. My teammates did a great job of finding me, and I just hit the shots. Like I said, I work on my game like 24/7, like nonstop. So sometimes it just goes in. I mean, that's all I can really say.
Thank you.
All right, unless we have anything further for Gabe, I'm not seeing anything else. Gabe, I appreciate your time today. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks, Gabe.
All right, and that's going to wrap us up here today. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.